Every night, millions of people lie down in their beds, close their eyes, and wait. They wait for sleep to come, but sleep doesn't come easily. They toss, they turn, they check the clock. 1 hour passes, then 2. And in the morning, they wake up feeling tired, even though they were in bed for 8 hours. Sound familiar? This is not a story about insomnia. This is a story about something quieter, something most people never notice. The small mistakes we make every single night, habits so ordinary, so routine, that we never think to question them. But those habits are costing us something precious. They are stealing our rest, one night at a time. Today, we are going to look at 3 of those mistakes. Not to judge, not to criticize, but to understand. Because when you understand what is working against you, you can finally start working with yourself. Let's begin. Mistake 1. Screens before bed. Meet Sarah. She is 29 years old. She works at a marketing agency, and her days are long. By 10 o'clock at night, she is finally in bed. The room is dark, the house is quiet, everything says, it is time to rest. But Sarah picks up her phone. Just to check a few things, she tells herself. Just to see what she missed today. She opens her messages, then her email, then a video someone sent her, then another video after that. Before she realizes it, it is midnight. She puts the phone face down on the pillow, closes her eyes, and waits for sleep. But sleep doesn't come quickly. Her mind is still moving, still processing the things she saw, still somewhere in the scroll. She finally falls asleep around 1. Her alarm rings at 6:30. She wakes up feeling like she barely slept at all. And in a way, she didn't. Not the kind of sleep that restores. Here is what was happening inside Sarah's brain. Your body produces a hormone called melatonin. You may have heard of it. It is often called the sleep hormone. But that name doesn't fully explain what it does. Melatonin is not what makes you sleep. It is what tells your body that night has arrived. It is a signal, a messenger, carried through your bloodstream, whispering to your organs and your brain. The day is over. Begin preparing for rest. Melatonin rises as darkness increases. It responds to light, specifically to the absence of it. When the sun goes down, when the room grows dark, your brain begins producing melatonin. Slowly, steadily, it rises. And that rising is what creates the feeling of growing sleepiness in the evening, that heavy, gentle pull toward rest. That is melatonin doing its work. But here is the problem. Screens, phones, tablets, laptops, televisions emit a specific type of light. It is called blue light. Blue light sits on the same wavelength as midday sunlight, and your brain cannot tell the difference. When you stare at a screen in a dark room, your brain receives a message that says, the sun is still up. It is still daytime. You should still be awake. Melatonin production slows or stops entirely. The signal that should be rising, the one that carries your body gently towards sleep, is interrupted. And so you lie there, eyes closed, body tired, but brain still alert, still waiting for a nighttime that it thinks hasn't come yet. There is something else worth understanding. Even when Sarah finally falls asleep, the quality of her sleep is affected. Sleep is not one continuous state. It moves through stages: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep, cycling through them several times a night. REM sleep, rapid eye movement, is the stage associated with dreaming. But more importantly, It is the stage where your brain processes emotions, consolidates memories, and prepares itself for the next day. When melatonin is suppressed early in the night, the timing of these sleep cycles shifts. You get less REM sleep. You spend less time in deep, restorative rest. You may sleep 8 hours, but wake up feeling like you slept 5. This is what happened to Sarah. Not just one night, but most nights. And she thought she was simply someone who needed more sleep than other people. She wasn't. She was someone whose sleep was being quietly stolen, one scroll at a time. The research on this is consistent and clear. Stop using screens at least 30 minutes before sleep. 60 minutes is better. 90 minutes is better still. This may feel difficult at first. The phone has become a part of the evening ritual for so many people. But the transition can be gentle. Try replacing the scroll with something slower. A physical book, not a tablet, a real book, some soft music playing in the background, a few minutes of stretching on the floor, a warm cup of herbal tea held in both hands. These things are not just relaxing. They are biologically appropriate. They allow melatonin to rise as it should. They let the body ease into the night the way it was designed to. Some people also find it helpful to set a phone alarm. Not a wake-up alarm, but a wind-down alarm. An alarm that says, "It is time to put this down now." And when it sounds, they put it down. Not perfectly, not every night at first, but more and more as the habit takes hold. Sarah tried this. She started with 30 minutes of screen-free time before bed. She read instead. She didn't sleep perfectly the first week, but by the second week, she noticed something. She was falling asleep faster. She was waking up feeling less heavy. She had not changed her life. She had only changed one small habit at the end of it. And that was enough to begin. Mistake 2. An irregular sleep schedule. Think about someone you know who works shifts. Maybe it's a nurse, a factory worker, a security guard, someone whose schedule changes from week to week. Early mornings one week, late nights the next. These people often struggle deeply with sleep. They feel tired, even after resting. They have trouble concentrating. Their mood becomes harder to manage. We tend to think, well, of course. Shift work is hard. That's just the nature of it. But here is something that might surprise you. Many people who work perfectly normal, fixed office hours experience something very similar, just in a quieter, less obvious form. Because they do something that seems harmless. They sleep late on weekends. Marcus is 38. He wakes at 6:30 every weekday. He's disciplined about it, consistent. But on Friday night, he stays up until 1. On Saturday, he sleeps until 10. Sunday, he sleeps until 9:30. Monday morning arrives. Marcus's alarm goes off at 6:30. He feels terrible. Not because he's lazy, not because he slept poorly, but because he has, without realizing it, given himself jet lag, without ever leaving his city. Inside, every one of us is a biological clock. It sits in a tiny region of the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. You don't need to remember that name. What matters is what it does. This clock runs on a roughly 24-hour cycle. It is sensitive to light and darkness. It governs not just sleep, but body temperature, hormone release, digestion, immune function, and dozens of other processes. It is, in a very real sense, the conductor of your body's orchestra. And like any good conductor, it depends on consistency. When you sleep and wake at consistent times, even on weekends, this clock becomes precise. It knows when to release cortisol in the morning to help you wake up alert. It knows when to begin the melatonin rise in the evening. Everything flows. But when you shift your sleep schedule by 2, 3, or 4 hours on weekends, you move the clock. Your body thinks you have traveled to a different time zone. Scientists call this social jet lag. And just like regular jet lag, it takes time to recover. For many people, they are just starting to recover by Friday, when the weekend arrives and the cycle begins again. They are permanently, mildly jet lagged, living slightly out of sync with themselves week after week, year after year. The consequences of irregular sleep timing go beyond feeling tired on Monday morning. Research has connected chronic social jet lag to a range of health concerns. People with highly irregular sleep schedules tend to have more difficulty managing weight. Their metabolic processes, the systems that regulate how the body uses and stores energy, are disrupted by the inconsistency. Mood is also affected. The brain's emotional regulation systems are deeply tied to sleep timing. When the schedule shifts constantly, emotional resilience drops. Small frustrations feel larger. Patience wears thin more quickly. Motivation is harder to find. There is also the matter of cognitive performance. Attention, memory, and decision-making are all sharpest when sleep timing is consistent. An irregular schedule doesn't just make you tired, it quietly dims the full capacity of your mind. The solution here is one of the simplest in sleep science. Wake up at the same time every day, not just weekdays, every day. This single habit, maintained consistently, is one of the most powerful things you can do for the quality of your sleep. The wake time is the anchor. It is the fixed point around which your body's clock aligns itself. When you wake at the same time each morning, your body begins to anticipate it. Cortisol rises slightly before the alarm. You wake more naturally, less abruptly, and because you woke at the same time. Sleep pressure builds consistently throughout the day. By evening, you feel genuinely tired at roughly the same time each night. Sleep begins more easily. The cycle becomes self-reinforcing. Now, this doesn't mean you can never stay up late. Life happens, special occasions exist, but try to keep variations small. If your normal wake time is 7, try not to sleep past 8 on weekends. 1 hour of variation is manageable. 3 or 4 hours is where the disruption sets in. Marcus made this change. He committed to waking at 7 every day, including Saturday and Sunday. The first few weekends were difficult. He wanted to stay in bed. His body said, just a little longer. But he got up. He made coffee. He sat by the window. And after 3 weeks, something shifted. He stopped dreading Monday mornings. He stopped feeling that constant, low-level fatigue that he had accepted as simply part of adult life. He wasn't sleeping more. He was sleeping better. Because his body finally knew what time it was. There is a moment that happens in many homes every single night. It goes something like this. The television is on. Something loud, a thriller, a debate, a sports match. The family is awake, scattered around the house. Maybe someone is arguing about something. Maybe the news is playing in the background. And then it is 11 o'clock. Someone says, "Okay, time for bed." The lights go off. Everyone moves to their rooms. And within minutes, they are expected to be asleep. But the body doesn't work that way. Elena is 44. She manages a small business. Her evenings are full. Emails, planning, phone calls with partners in different time zones. By 10:30, she is finally done. She brushes her teeth, washes her face, lies down, and stares at the ceiling. Her mind is still running, still writing tomorrow's to-do list, still replaying a conversation from the afternoon, still somewhere in the middle of a problem she hasn't solved yet. She is tired. She knows she needs sleep. But sleep won't come. Not because anything is wrong with her, but because no one prepared her for it. The nervous system has two primary modes. The first is the sympathetic mode, often called fight or flight. This is the state of alertness, action, and readiness. Heart rate is slightly elevated. Attention is sharp. The body is prepared to respond. The second is the parasympathetic mode, sometimes called rest and digest. This is the state of calm, recovery, and restoration. Heart rate slows, muscles relax, digestion works, the body repairs itself. Sleep belongs to the parasympathetic state. You cannot fall asleep while your nervous system is still in sympathetic mode. The challenge is that modern evenings are full of sympathetic triggers. Bright overhead lights signal daytime. Loud or emotionally intense content on screens activates the stress response. Work, with its deadlines and decisions, keeps the problem-solving mind engaged. Even a heated conversation before bed can elevate cortisol and adrenaline in ways that take an hour or more to resolve. And then we lie down and wonder why sleep doesn't come. We haven't transitioned. We have gone from full activation directly to horizontal and expected the body to simply switch off. It can't. Not easily, not healthily. The nervous system needs time to move from one state to the other. It needs a bridge. That bridge is what we call a wind-down routine. When the nervous system doesn't have time to transition, the consequences ripple through the night. Even if you fall asleep, even if exhaustion eventually wins, the first part of sleep may be lighter than it should be. Your body enters sleep still carrying tension, still holding the residue of the day. Deep sleep, the most physically restorative stage, is harder to reach when the nervous system hasn't fully calmed. This is the sleep where the body releases growth hormone, where tissues repair, where the immune system does some of its most important work. Missing out on adequate deep sleep doesn't just leave you tired. Over time, it affects recovery, immunity, and physical health in ways that are subtle but real. There is also the emotional cost. People who don't have a transition into sleep often report that their first thoughts in the morning are already about the problems of the day. There is no clean break between yesterday and today. The mind carries everything forward, unprocessed, unresolved, heavy. A proper wind-down is not just preparation for sleep. It is a form of emotional hygiene, a way of saying, that day is done. This moment belongs to rest. A wind-down routine does not need to be complicated. It does not need to take a long time. 45 minutes to 1 hour is ideal. But even 30 minutes, done consistently, can make a meaningful difference. The key is not the specific activities. The key is the intention behind them. Each activity in your wind-down should signal one thing to your nervous system. The day is ending. You are safe. You can let go. Here are some things that work well. Dimming the lights in your home. The body is sensitive to light intensity. Lowering the lights 1 hour before bed helps trigger the melatonin rise naturally. A warm shower or bath. When you step out of warm water, your body temperature drops slightly, mimicking the natural temperature drop that signals sleep onset. Many people fall asleep faster after an evening shower for exactly this reason. Light stretching or gentle yoga. Nothing intense. Nothing that elevates the heart rate. Simply moving through slow, deliberate stretches releases physical tension held in the muscles from a long day of sitting, working, and carrying stress. Writing in a journal. This is particularly powerful for people like Elena, people whose minds keep running after the day ends. The act of writing down what is on your mind externalizes it. It moves your thoughts from the spinning loop inside your head onto something outside of you. You don't have to write beautifully. You don't have to solve anything. Simply write what you are thinking, what you're worried about, what you need to do tomorrow. Get it out of your head and onto the page. Then close the notebook and leave it there. Some people also find value in a few minutes of slow breathing. Not elaborate meditation, just breathing. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. The extended exhale activates the parasympathetic nervous system directly. It is one of the fastest ways to shift your body's state. Do this for 5 minutes. Notice the difference. Elena started small. She decided that at 10 o'clock each night, she would stop working. No exceptions. No, just 5 more minutes. She dimmed the lights. She made a cup of chamomile tea. She wrote 3 things in a small notebook: what she did that day, what she was grateful for, and what she needed to remember tomorrow. Then she read a novel, something with nothing to do with work, for 20 minutes. The first week was uncomfortable. Her mind kept pulling back toward the unfinished tasks. She felt guilty for stopping early, but she stayed with it. And by the 3rd week, something remarkable happened. She started feeling sleepy at 10:30. Naturally, without forcing it, she would lie down and sleep would come within minutes. Not because she had found a magic solution, but because she had finally given her body what it had always needed: a bridge between the day and the night. A quiet signal that said, "You are done now. You have done enough. Rest." 3 mistakes. Screens that trick the brain into thinking it is still daytime. Schedules that shift and confuse the body's internal clock. Evenings that go straight from full speed to silence, with nothing in between. These are not dramatic problems. They are quiet ones, the kind that accumulate slowly over months and years until tiredness begins to feel normal, until you forget what it felt like to wake up genuinely rested. But they are also solvable. Not all at once, not perfectly, but one small step at a time. Choose one thing from tonight, just one. Maybe you put the phone down 30 minutes earlier. Maybe you set a consistent wake time for this week. Maybe you dim the lights at 9 and make yourself a quiet cup of tea. One thing, done with intention, done with patience. Sleep is not a reward for the exhausted. It is not something you earn by suffering enough. It is a need as fundamental as water, as necessary as breath. You deserve to rest well. And the good news is, your body already knows how. It is simply waiting for you to create the conditions that allow it to do what it was always meant to do. Take care of your nights. They will take care of everything else.